Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk. If you enjoy our content, please consider donating and following our socials. All right, so we're seeing in the online communities and whatnot where people just continuously keep saying they feel like they're stuck in their practice or it's stagnant and they don't know what to do about it.
And they don't actually understand what's going on here.
Right, and they don't know how to get out of it and all this other stuff.
Well, I have an idea what the problem is here. What do you think the problem is?
Well, I think it's, honestly, I don't know. I think it's probably got something to do with people just not knowing exactly what they want to do with their practice.
That's probably got part of it. Again, the biggest part I think the problem is nobody actually knows what they believe.
Well, there's that too, yeah.
All right. All right. I mean, well, I think one of the first assignments I got from Lord Men was, hey, go find you a piece of paper, write it today, right up at the top, today I believe, and start writing.
Mm-hmm.
Then go back and read it and see what you think then.
Well, and that's something we tell our students to do. And anytime somebody comes to us with, they don't know where to start or they don't know how to get involved or whatever, it's one of the first things we tell them to do is, and we've said it here many, many times, just start with a journal, start with a book, piece of paper.
I think there's another problem on top of all of this, and it's the same problem I remember running into years ago. All right, when first got out on my own and I didn't have to worry about parents breathing down my neck. So, of course, I go trotting out to the local metaphysics shop, right?
Right.
Pick up Scott Cunningham's book on Guide to a Solitary Practitioner. I was all excited and all this and read the whole entire book. Then I found out he came out with an advanced book for a solitary practitioner.
Right.
An advanced guide. Oh, I was so excited. Until I read it.
Until you read it.
Come to find out, it's the same information that was in the first book, just reworded slightly different. It was just a rehashing of the basic 101 info.
Why do you think that happens? Why do you think that they're doing that in books?
Well, there's a problem when all this started. And when I say this, a lot of people are going to get a little upset because there's going to be some stuff here that's going to lead down other avenues. But the problem was Scott Cunningham was never initiated. A lot of these people that wrote these books were never initiated.
Right.
In other words, they know nothing else but the 101 books. But the stuff to make you drive a little bit farther is the conversations you have with your elders.
Right. I guess I'm just wondering why, if all you're going to do is regurgitate information, maybe present it a little bit differently, why are you even bothering to put out a book and call it advanced?
Well, money. I'm sorry. To me, this is the money scam. This, to me, is the whole entire real gatekeeping because people are too busy. Here, buy my Wicca 101 book. Buy my 101 book.
Right.
That's all you hear these people say. And if you go listen to their videos, that's all they're going to, they repeatedly go over the same information over and over again.
Okay.
This is an argument we've had before. How many times do we need to have an unboxing video? How many times do we have to listen to another spell jar? How many times do we have to listen to another podcast about just doing spells?
Well,
how many more videos? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say,
and how many?
Go ahead.
Well, I know it's just me on my soapbox, and I'd rather get off of it.
All right. Well, then let me ask you this: Why do you think so many people are recycling the same basic concepts instead of advancing into the deeper material or into stuff? No, maybe not deeper material, but stuff that's got more substance to it.
Well, again, that requires effort. we've talked before that there's a point in craft, there's a point in all of this where you have to start doing the work. We can't do it for you. You have to start working with some of these concepts and start asking deeper questions.
But these people, they keep saying that that's what they're doing, but then it's just, again, it's just regurgitated
It's
information, and
regurgitated the same thing.
yeah, and it's just basic concepts. It's nothing substantial.
Well, let's ask the questions like I started to ask when I kept on seeing this, going, okay, nobody seems to have an answer. Well, I heard the whole entire, well, the Grands are the Grands because, well, the Celts followed them for, okay, but that don't explain why they're more important than the Lessers to the Celts. It wasn't like they didn't know both. When Rome showed up, and again, the time thing is not enough for me. So there was a little bit, so I asked, is there a little bit more there? Actually, there's several answers about why in the world they're Grands besides they came first.
Mm-hmm.
I never hear anybody talk about that.
No.
I never hear anybody talk about the arguments about why they are and where we place them on the wheel of the year. I never hear anything about anybody talking about these concepts that we actually have to deal with.
Right.
Whatsoever. I mean, it baffles me.
Well, it does me too.
You know, I mean, how many Hecate videos do you really need to listen to before you understand Hecate?
Well, let me ask you this. At what point should, and I'm not saying this from our expectations, but in your opinion, at what point should any practitioner be expected to move on beyond the basic concepts? Is there a
Well,
turning
I'm
point?
sorry if you're getting bored and stuck and your religion isn't doing anything for you and you feel like you need to step away from it, there's a problem. I hear the same conversations over and over again. Oh, my religion isn't doing good. Maybe I should take a break. What? That's when you're supposed to lean farther into your religion.
So you think that is the turning point when people say they're
There's
stuck
the
or it's
turning point.
become stagnant and they're just
I'm
not happy
stagnant,
with
and
it? That's the turning. That's when you should delve deeper
there's
into things of more
two.
substance.
Right. It don't make no sense to me. So again, we get mad because these people leave the craft and decide to go and become Christian again. But yet, what are we actually offering them? You go out on YouTube and you listen to all these people, they're still doing just the 101 info.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to one woman who sat there and was touting, oh, I got 35 years. And you know what? I'm only teaching the 101 stuff.
Right.
I haven't tried to go out. I haven't argued anything about ethics, morals. I haven't done anything on how in the world to actually control your own meditations and get away from all everybody else's. I haven't taught you one thing about you being an actual individual.
Well, see, that's part of the problem because I don't see any of these people as teachers.
No, they're content creators.
They're content creators and they're having one-way conversations.
And all they're doing is repeating the same thing over and over again, just slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the same conversations. Oh, there's gatekeeping. Do you initiate? Do you not initiate? Can we get a little bit deeper?
Well, and then
All right. What?
when it comes to that, all right, when they scream all the gatekeeping information, what I find funny, and this is probably off topic. If it is, just direct the conversation somewhere else.
It's fine.
But but it's on my mind. What I find funny, and I do say funny, because it's strange, it's weird, that they scream that people are gatekeeping information, right? And then they want all this stuff for free, but then they find a place online that's selling a course, and they're willing to go pay for that course, while at the same time demanding free information from everybody else.
I mean, because, well, again, at one point I got a wild hair up my butt, and I decided to start some class to supposedly get a bachelor's degree in
Right.
craft,
Right.
paganism,
A
but
metaphysical
it
field,
was
if you will.
a metaphysical field. And I had to quit doing it because it was that stupid.
Mm-hmm.
The information was so basic. It was so dumb. It was anything I could find out online for free, but yet I'm paying a fortune for it for a piece of paper that might be good or might not be good as a degree.
Right.
So what are we doing here? Are we really pushing these concepts? Are we really asking people to actually start to think?
Hmm.
I mean, because again, we've argued this before. I sit back and I go, okay, our first degree course is just to teach you how to operate inside our temple,
Right.
our traditions, why we believe the way we believe, and why we do the things we do. And second degree is where you actually start learning more of how to be an actual priest or a priestess. I'm just being honest here.
Right.
Third degree is nothing more than you demonstrating or repeatedly showing you know how to use this information correctly to help other people.
Right. And again, we've said this many times on the podcast. I mean, it's just the way we
We
operate.
have. But again, most temples I know, this is how they operate. But yet, when we go out into the bigger community there, everybody's still stuck on Wicca 101.
Mm-hmm.
This is just how to practice. When are these people going to start making podcasts where it's a little bit more challenging? I can go out and find 50 videos on meditation, not ours,
Right.
that explain to you which good walkthrough meditations there are and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's sitting down going, here's how you meditate without any of that stuff. This is how you do it if you're going to be just sitting out there meditating by yourself in the middle of a field
Mm-hmm.
with no headset on.
Right.
Here, we're going to teach you how to do it yourself.
Right. Just the sounds of nature, just, the wind blowing through your hair or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
That is not what I hear from these people. Again, it's more like, hey, you got to go out and spend $50 on this freaking rock so you can create a spell.
Right.
We've even talked about this on the podcast. We've sat here and said, hey, you know what? You really don't need any of that crap when you're casting a spell.
No. And you don't need any of that stuff for ritual space either.
So I'm wondering, how much longer are we actually going to have a community or anything if all we're doing is the lowest common denominator all the time?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, that's why I asked, well, what do you think the turning point should be for people to actually delve into it? And I think it makes perfect sense that if you think you're being stagnant and that you're not heading anywhere, that's the perfect time to delve deeper.
Because again, here's what in the world you have. You have this people. They'll watch a YouTuber for so long going over the same information for maybe a couple of years. Then they'll switch to another one doing the exact same thing.
Right. It's just presented a little differently, and
it just presented a little bit different. I mean, how does that make sense?
But it doesn't. I mean, it's all the same old information. I see it all the time on the Instagram reels and Facebook reels, and I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok, but it's all the same thing. Those videos float around.
I'm sorry. I've been out on TikTok. I can't stay there more than 5 or 6 minutes. And I'm like, especially witch talk. I'm like, this is the ultimate in what in the world I'm talking about.
Right. But
everything's shallow. Everything's.
Well, yeah, that's exactly where I was going with. That's exactly where I was going with that. It's all the same stuff. It's do this spell. Here's your ingredients. Do this spell. It's the same spell you saw 10 minutes ago. Different ingredients, different way of doing it. And it's all spell, and it's nothing of substance.
And then when you do try to talk to them and you do start pointing out, hey, you know what happens if you keep on doing a left-hand turn? All you're doing is a left-hand turn.
Right.
If you're, I'm sorry to preach this out. I mean, I'm sorry. If you're sitting there and there's a choice between anything in craft where there's a choice between a left hand or a right hand or this or that. The obvious choice in craft the majority of times is both.
Mm-hmm.
You do both. Balance is important here.
It really is, and I guess that's the next part of this is how do we strike that balance? How do we get to the point where we're accessing actual knowledge and putting it into realistic practice?
Well, the first thing we got to do is quit cutting people off. Just because people say stuff you don't like doesn't mean you're being attacked.
True.
Doesn't mean you're doing it. Means, hey, we're questioning you. We're trying to actually get you to move up a level or two to answer these questions.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting there and you're preaching, okay, you should only follow the left-hand path to get this. Why? Where? Where's the logic here? Where's the logic in not using both hands? Why? Because even asking the question, why do we even call them hands? Why do we call it left-hand, right-hand path? Could not the key word there be hands? How many hands do you need to work?
Right. Well, and then the right hand and left hand thing, I think a lot of that also has roots in Christianity. Like the early
Somewhat.
days.
I mean,
Well, I was thinking back like to the early days of Christianity where, left-handed people were seen as possessed by the devil. So the left-hand path is considered bad, quote unquote bad.
but it never was. It never has. All right. The left-hand path is supposed to be a more internal work, where the right-hand path is actually more external work from yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
Where in craft do we have this concept of good and evil? That something's pure good or something's pure evil?
Well,
Again, we don't have it. We don't believe in that.
that takes me down another path, and that's probably.
Oh no, go. No, tell me.
Why do pagans? I'm going to paganism to get away from Christianity, but I'm going to hold on to these things: good, evil, light, and dark. Why are you still holding on to these things? And you're going to sit there and talk about angelic numbers. You're going to sit there and talk about, biblical things, and you want the key of Solomon. These are based in Christianity. You're not getting away from it.
Because here, there's a big thing here, all right? Why don't they match up? Because Christians believe there are such thing as supernatural. Pagans don't believe that. Nothing's greater than nature. Nature is a set fix of laws that cannot be broken by anyone.
Right. But I'm just saying it makes no sense to me that you want to get away from Christianity, but yet when you come to paganism, you're exploring the more occult things, and those things are rooted in Christianity. Why?
Right.
Why?
Well, again, it's like the whole entire thing. We keep on trying to say, okay, we're trying to get rid of dogma. Mm-hmm. What do you hear? Oh, you can't do that spell. God forbid. That violates the three. What are y'all talking about?
Karma's gonna get you. No, karma is the same thing as dogma in my book. It's
right.
Just don't.
All right. And again, I'm not saying there's not actions to reactions to stuff you do, and you need to take those into account, but they're not consequences to your actions.
No, and then they're going to follow you into the next lifetime.
Or anything like that. Again, we do have to accept responsibility for our actions, but what other people do based on that is not our problem.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, occult and craft always teaches us to be individuals. Mm-hmm. And if we're going to be individuals, that means there's certain things we have to do. We have to accept responsibility for our actions. That means nobody else's fault.
Right. Nobody else's but mine for anything that I do or anything that I say. Mine.
There's no victimhood here.
Nope.
No high-level craft person I know is going to feel pity for you because, oh, well, I had a bad life. Your life's no worse than anybody else's.
Right. Your victimhood
You're standing here.
It's the result of your own actions.
Your choices and the way you reacted to things.
Yep.
All right. Do bad things happen to good people? Yes. Do good things happen to bad people? Yes, it happens. There's no rhyme or reason. There is no great So what are these people talking about? I don't make no sense to me.
It makes no sense to me either.
Why can't we go a step farther? Why is it the bulk of the pagan community only stays in the shallow end of the pool?
Right.
And I hate to be this way, and this is part that's really going to piss people off. If this is all y'all are going to do, go back to being Christians. All right? I'm sorry. To me, it's the most laziest freaking religion you could be a part of. You don't have to really do anything.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't.
Just show up for church.
Yep. Show up for church, Sunday school, whatever.
You're not required to learn. You're not required to educate yourself. You're not required to dig into your own psyche.
Mm-mm.
You're just required not to commit these sins or to follow the rules and the whole nine yards.
Right.
And again,
show up and tithe to your church.
This is what I see most of these people trying to turn craft into.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I'm bothered by it, because again, it's not about growth. It's not about learning yourself or how other people operate.
Right.
It's all about stroking your ego and doing the least amount of work and the least amount of effort to not feel bad about yourself.
Right.
And again, with that said, craft isn't really here to make you feel bad about yourself. It's here to force you to look at yourself in an honest way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's craft is designed, and I mean, it's part of its nature is to make you a stronger person, to be able to delve into the deeper concepts, to explore all of those things, and be able to stand on those principles.
Well, again, it's to have the courage to go out there and say what in the world you believe while ignoring what in the world everybody else says.
Right.
So what are we actually doing here? All of a sudden, all pagans seem to be scared of being challenged in their beliefs.
Yeah, I think what's happening is instead of strengthening the ability to stand on what you believe in, people are being more encouraged to yield or to submit in an argument or whatever, because, you know, heaven forbid we offend somebody or hurt somebody's feelings or
well, again, we're bringing in another Christian concept about turning the other cheek.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want conflict. It is better for me to sit here and bow out gracefully than to actually stand on my principles.
Right. But that's not what paganism's about.
And when we discuss this, the majority of the times, it always sounds like we would rather turn the cheek than actually stand up for what we believe in. I mean, I know it's the way we sort of discuss it, but it's always discussed in a negative context that you standing up for what you believe.
Right.
And I believe some of this comes from Christianity, because Christians are taught to do this, that they're supposed to stand up regardless of what anybody says, that they believe this.
Right, but you should also be able to afford somebody else that same luxury.
Thank you. But it's not a bad thing if you do it yourself. But again, I've heard these conversations in the pagan community, and yes, standing up for yourself is always sort of downgraded to a certain extent, or talked about in a more of a negative.
Yeah, that's what I was saying is, you know, it's more of an encouragement to, again, to yield, or I don't know of a better way to put that, but basically to stand down instead of stand up.
Right.
Because again,
I mean, again,
let's not hurt anybody's feelings. Let's not encourage conversation on a deeper level.
Let's like, God forbid anybody challenge me on any of my beliefs. Oh God.
Oh, I mean, you welcome that.
I beg for it. I do podcasts like this, hoping to get these conversations. Challenge me.
Right.
This is what I don't understand. All right. And then yet when you go out and you do this they don't want to be challenged. They want to run. They want to hide. They want to go back to their 101 books.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking out in the pagan, can we get past the Wicca 101 crap already? After 35 years.
Let's get our heads
Do
out
you
of the
think it's
sand.
time to advance?
Let's get our heads out of the sand. It's time to move forward.
All right. I mean, go back and listen to it. Listen to what in the world these people go back and just look at the titles. Look at the stuff that they're talking about. Don't not each episode, but and notice the pattern.
Right.
I've sat there and read one title after another and sort of a description of each one. And it's always the same videos.
Mm-hmm.
Never anybody stressing something else. Make it make sense.
Well, and again, good on them for making content. Just, can we do something more than just the basic stuff?
Please. I mean, I understand new people are always coming in and they need to be educated and stuff, but it's not like those old videos went away.
No, there's enough information out there for every beginner to get a good starting point.
Thank you. I mean, most of these podcasts, yes, you're looking through them, they have at least one playlist, beginner,
Mm-hmm.
or all their or what they called all their beginner videos. Okay, then why are you still making beginner videos?
Right.
If you've done them all, if you've already taught all the class, why?
I don't know. Are you scared? Are you scared to produce any other type of content?
We try our best to put out a little bit better challenging context of some of these concepts as much as we can without crossing certain lines. But, you know, I'm sorry. Nobody actually listens to us, really. I mean,
not really.
You know, don't get me wrong. I love the audience we have, and they're great people, but
oh yeah,
you with what I'm saying. I mean,
we don't have massive numbers. You know, I mean, it works for the folks who do listen, and we appreciate that.
You know, well, most people I see that are trying to do the stuff like we're doing, like Blaze and all this other stuff, which I'm going to give him a shout out because every Friday he's been putting out a video where he's talking with 3 other people, and these are actual interesting conversations.
He has, yeah.
These are the conversations I would love to see on more pagan podcasts. They're literally debating. They're having this discussion in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
This is what this growth, this is what this learning looks like, y'all.
Right. It's the perfect example, you know? Don't be afraid to be challenged.
I love the fact that Blaze does this. I hope they keep on doing this because it's been kind of nice.
Yeah. No, it's a great series.
It is. So with that said, this is what we're talking about. And then when we do get our fluffy bunny, I don't know what to call them. They're the fluffy bunny people. We've always referred to them that way. I know I've just probably killed us in the ratings.
Probably.
But that's my point. That's why we call you Fluffy Bunny, because you can't get past the Wicca 101 stuff.
Right. Well, it's either the one-on-one stuff or you're too much into the new agey stuff, and it's again, it's nothing of substance.
No, it's really not.
You know, is all the new age stuff bad? No, but there's more depth to some of it than what you're putting out.
Right. Nobody wanted teachers. Nobody wanted anything else. Everybody wanted to run amok and go off and do. Okay, now you've done it. Now you got all these people following you. Now, what are you going to actually teach them?
Right.
When you're going to put some meat and potatoes on there and quit worrying about the window dressing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling out our own community. When are we going to see a step up on the podcast and stuff like this of people trying to push people to think more?
Well, and again, I've said it several times throughout this podcast, this episode. Don't be afraid to be challenged. That's how we learn. That's how we strengthen our belief systems. That's how we strengthen our religious practice, by being challenged.
Yes. I mean, I hate to tell y'all this. If y'all only knew how giddy I got when people actually do challenge me.
I don't. I know.
For crying out loud, you're married to me, you love me, but you'll leave the room as soon as somebody challenges me. You're like, nope, never mind, I'm leaving.
Well, not all the time.
There's a 2-hour conversation.
Not all the time. Sometimes it's interesting to hear, but yeah, if I feel like it's just going to be a lot of bickering from one side or the other, yeah, I'll just leave.
Yeah, they're just like, "Okay, I've already heard this argument. This is the same rehash. This ain't gonna go nowhere."
Yeah. And I
But
don't mind it when people challenge me either. I've had some people that I work with, and they find out and they challenge me on some of my beliefs and my stances, and we have a decent conversation about it. And sometimes they change my mind about things, and a lot of times they don't.
sometimes they don't.
You know, and that's how we
That's the
develop.
way life goes.
That's how we grow.
With that said, I'm ready for some coffee.
Yes, let's go get some coffee. Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another episode. Pagan Coffee Talk is brought to you by Life Temple and Seminary. Please visit us at lifetempleseminary.org for more information, as well as links to our social media: Facebook, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit.
We travel down this trodden path, a maze of stone and mire. Just hold my hand as we pass by a sea of blazing pyres. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning